What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. It's Thursday, I think, and there's some interesting news going around today. I mean, we have the Tim Pool article. We have some new news around Mr. Tate. We have the town hall that happened in Ohio that was absolutely wild. And so I'm going to cover it all for you right now. Let's start with what was interesting, an interesting case here with Mr. Tate. I think this has been a case that has kind of largely been forgotten outside of his base. And it's, a lot of people have something to say about it. There are things that he has said, obviously, that I disagree with. But I've kind of been waiting for some sort of legal proceedings. And as far as I know, the guy's just sitting in court or in jail without actually being charged or whatever the case is. It's really bizarre. People have a right to a speedy trial, at least in this country, but maybe not in Romania. Before we get into this story, just a quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2022 going on 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. Well, it's 2023, so if you don't have a VPN yet, I have an absolutely massive deal for you as my viewers, and I hope that you'll check it out. Now, this article, or this bit of news, seems to be kind of creeping out on, first on kind of the gossip sites. It hasn't been covered by any mainstream sites yet. That doesn't necessarily mean it's untrue. It's just an interesting, twist to the story. It says, Andrew Tate is still currently housed in jail amid claims against him and connections to organized crime. However, according to spynews.ro, so again, I tend to try to take these things with a grain of salt. It doesn't automatically mean it's untrue, especially when you look at, if somebody said, according to CNN, I'd probably react in the same way. So it's like you just kind of want to wait for a conglomerate of sites or a nice cross-section of sites to cover something that allege wiretaps between those who claim Tate wronged them indicate that the two women actually planned to frame him. Now, the article is published by spynews.ro. I doubt that's that's probably not NewsGuard certified, but it has been translated from Romanian to English. According to these wiretaps, the pair of the two planned on setting up the Tate brothers by pretending that they were in love with the brothers. They had planned to feign ignorance if they were caught in a police raid on Tate's property, and discussed using disguises so they weren't recognized following the raids. Images of the alleged wiretaps were uploaded to Twitter, and British MMA fighter and actor Tam Khan has called for the release of Andrew Tate and his brother, Khan saying this: "Wow, exposed, free the Tates." Now, wiretaps showed that they plotted to frame them. And what you see here is, obviously, I can't read that because it looks like it's in... Well, it actually does look like it's perhaps in English, so we'll check that out. Investigative journalist Suleiman Ahmed released a thread on Twitter revealing the alleged bias against Andrew Tate in the mainstream media. Well, duh. Ahmed called out prominent news outlets BBC and Vice and blasted the organization for a lack of journalistic integrity. Ahmed wrote the following: Tate megathread. There has been a visceral attack on Andrew Tate by the MSM and alternative media. They have lacked journalist integrity. Vice, BBC, journalistic integrity. Vice, BBC, and the allegations have been debunked, but they have brainwashed people. It's time to wake up and seek the truth. Well, interestingly enough, I mean, you can see this thread here, but what's more interesting is this tweet by Tam Khan. I wonder if that's something I can find, because that's certainly an interesting scenario. If true, here it is. This is pinned tweet. Now, this looks like in English. The alleged those that were wronged, wiretaps exposed as setup and lies. While this is disturbing, they should be locked up and immediately exposed. Free the brothers now. This only highlights the corruption in this case. Now, certainly this doesn't, absolve them of literally everything they've been accused of, but certainly we've already seen a scenario where, I'm of the mind that, Tate probably did some unsavory things, maybe even some illegal things. But I also believe that he's being railroaded and that he's not getting a fair trial. And based on the evidence that we've seen, I just really haven't seen anything convincing. I get a lot of people chirping in my ear, even people that are friends of mine saying, oh no, this is all going to come out. There's really evidence against. I mean, one of the main people who said that they were advocating for these folks was Eliza Blue, if that name sounds familiar to you. She went on Tim Pool's show to talk about how she was advocating for these people. Now, I don't know if these are the same because they were anonymous. But you can see this thing, for sure, what we have to do. I'm dying inside, ASAP, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Shame on you. You could see, I'm not sure what these actually say. You see, true, I practice, perfect. Just play it cool. Got it. Like you don't know anything. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears. Aliona, and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. So we are so good, though. We need an Oscar. Let's go. Let's just play it cool and change my name so I will not start with a whatever. Got it. Yeah, I told you to just be like saying a nice message that we are hurt and stuff like that, and you love them, but just don't. I mean, if these are real, look at tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices what we look like or who we are. We are writing a movie ASAP. It's pretty interesting, a lot of these replies. As more time passes, again, here's the thing. If they did break the law, which many people are convinced that they did, this investigation does not appear to be above board. There seems to be plenty of evidence. Now, just because these two plotted, right? So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Just because these two allegedly plotted this, that doesn't necessarily mean none of the other stuff happened. But it certainly means that some shenanigans were happening and are happening. And what I will say is, even though many people strongly dislike these individuals and perhaps how they make money and how they got rich and all this kind of stuff, facts matter. And in court, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And right now, these two guys are sitting in prison for how long now? And I've still yet to see anything extraordinarily convincing. Now, maybe that comes out at trial, but, it's interesting to me that they had these two locked up, and it's been so long now, and it's just like, what's going on? What the heck is going on? And here's a Samira saying, I've yet to see concrete evidence that Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate are guilty. Unfortunately, globalists are going to do everything they can. Free Top G. That's kind of the thing. I have yet to see anything really bad. I've seen like the video of him, raising his hand. Apparently that's been explained away, but it's down to whether or not you believe that. But certainly, I think we can all agree that no mainstream media outlet is going to go out of their way to present this in a fair and balanced way. And so right now, I'm concerned that so many people are so convinced of his guilt because they don't like the things he says, including the media, that people are forgetting, you know, that kind of truth matters. Again, I'm not saying the guy's an angel. I'm not saying I want him dating my daughter. I'm not saying that everything he says is true. What I am saying is the truth matters, facts matter. And I think if you look at this, I just haven't seen anything extraordinarily convincing. I don't know if you have, and I'm just not seeing it. I mean, certainly, you want to tell me the guy's a scumbag or whatever. Okay, fine. But like, where is the evidence of the laws broken? Now, there's stuff about the money, hiding money, doing this kind of stuff that would constitute some sort of crime, I imagine. But let's bring it forward. Let's put him on trial. Let's actually get it out there and see what's going on. It feels like they're holding him in hopes that they can put together a case. They're very, very concerned about, seizing his Bugattis and all this kind of stuff. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if any of this evidence actually comes to bear, if they're interested in going to trial, if they're interested in doing, anything like that. Because I'm certainly interested in seeing this go to trial. I don't want the guy to be held forever without a trial. If he's found guilty at trial, well, then so be it. But give the guy his day in court. It's certainly been very, very long to be held with, as more and more cracks seem to be forming in their case. So it'll be interesting to see. Make sure if you haven't yet, you click subscribe and you turn notifications on. The button's right down below the video, and I'll continue to follow this case and update you every time there's something major to talk about. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.